Hello, Pack 443 Wolf families. Today I'm going to go over the Motors Away Elective in our scouting book here. So it says for Motors Away, we're going to create and fly 3 different types of paper airplanes. We're going to make a paper airplane catapult. We're going to make 2 different model boats and sail them, and create a model car that moves under its own power. So I've collected just some computer paper, some bottles and caps, and some popsicle sticks to do each of these different ones. So we're going to start with just creating the 3 different types of paper airplanes. So they have in here, they're talking about the 3 types that they want us to create. So the first one here is the arrow, and then we have the delta and the dart. So we're going to start with just creating the arrow here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this down next to here. Make sure you guys can see everything. So we're going to start with just the 1 piece of paper, and it says we're going to fold the paper in half down the center. So let's move those ones. I'm going to fold it here down the center, and then it says to unfold it. So we'll open that back up. And then it says to fold down each top corner so the edges line up along that center crease. So we're going to take this corner, bring it down to touch that center crease all the way along, and make a nice fold there. Same thing, other side. Nice and pointy at the top there. Good. Step 3, fold each side over again to meet the center. This will make a sharper point at the top of your plane. So we're just going to take this and line it up here. Nice crease. Good. We're going to do the other side. You need to turn your page however you need to get that angle. Sometimes I find it's easier to work upside down. So I'm going to fold this one. Good. Okay, then it says step 4, flip the plane over. Step 5, fold the plane in half down the center. So basically along that crease that you made at the beginning is what we're going to fold it on. Okay, and then it says starting 1 inch from the tip, make a crease straight to the back of the plane to create the wing. Repeat for the other side to match. Then lift the wings up so that they are flat. So usually what I do here is kind of do like thumb distance really, and kind of start folding from about there down. Doesn't really matter how close you want to be as long as the other side matches. So the easiest way to do that, just flip it over and line it up on that same edge. There we go. And then opening it up, you should have something that looks similar to this, or maybe yours is a little closer. But yeah, feel free to kind of change it up however you think will be the fastest way of making that nice and pointy. And then this says that you might choose to cut 2 slits about 1 inch apart on each wing to create elevators. angle the wings so you see a V from the front, this can make the plane more stable. So flip the elevator flaps up to make the plane rise, flip them down to make the plane drop. Try flipping the elevators up to make the plane turn. So what they're saying is you can cut here and here and here and here and then bend these up as like little flaps to try to control how the plane flies. Alright, so there's the arrow. Then we're going to build the delta here. So I'm going to take another piece of paper here. Alright, and we're going to place it this way. And we're going to fold it in half this way. Like that. Then we're going to unfold it, and then we're going to fold it in half the other way. Okay. And then after we have all of those, we're going to open it back up. And this time there's like this little plus sign in the middle there. You can see this little plus. So we're going to fold these tips down into the plus. Okay. So take this tip to the plus. Make your nice fold. Take the other tip to the plus. And fold. Okay, then fold the top edge down to the center. So you're going to take this same edge and fold it to that. Meet those guys too. All at that little plus sign. Okay. Then fold each top corner to the center. Fold the top down to the center. Fold each top corner to the center along the crease, running from the top to the bottom. So we're gonna go this way and fold the whole thing to the center. Like that. And the other side. Like that. Okay. And then we are going to fold the left side over to the right side so all the folds are hidden. So back folding it in half again. Okay. And then it says about 1 inch from the nose. We're going to start to fold down the wings in a straight line to the back of the plane. Okay, so we're going to go about 1 inch away. I'm going to fold these down nice and flat. Okay. And then we're going to flip it and do the other side. Lining it up. Okay, and then when both wings have been folded, lift them up to a slight V, and that is your delta plane. So it kind of keeps the wing flaps on this one kind of stay down. You don't pop them all the way back up. They stay in that kind of V shape. Okay, so you got a nice flat nose going into that V. Okay, so we're gonna see how that one does. Okay, and the last one we're gonna make is called the dart. And I had trouble with this one last time, so we'll see how it turns out today. So folding it in half. Like so. Unfold. And fold these top corners so it's kind of like the start of the arrow one. Fold these down. And the other side. Perfect. Okay. And then fold again the outside edges to the center crease. This will create a sharper point. So just like the arrow, fold these in. Okay, and the other side. Perfect. All right, and then step 4 says to fold the point down to the edge of the folded flaps. So this point that we just made comes down to where these two flaps meet at. And we're gonna fold that. Okay. Alright, and then flip the paper over so that the flap side is up. Fold the plane in half. And then on one side, fold the tip in half at a slight angle. Fold the tip in half at a slight angle. This is where I had trouble. So let's see. Make a crease to the back of the plane to create the wing. Repeat on the inside. You can add elevators if you choose. Alright, so this one wants us, I think we're still supposed to just kind of bend the flap down here. So I don't know. You guys can read that however you want. Like I said, this is the one that I kind of struggled with making earlier to try. And then it looks like they kind of folded these back. I don't know. So we'll try that. Folding these in, I guess. So you should have something similar that looks kind of like this when you're all finished. Maybe yours looks a little different. That's okay too. We'll see how well they all fly. Alright, so what you're going to do is before you fly the 3 planes, you have to guess how far each will go. And then measure the distance after each flight and see if your guess beforehand was right or if it was wrong. And then we're going to discuss that during our Zoom meeting. Okay? Alright, so now that we have our paper airplanes done and we've done our contest to see, or we made our guesses to see which one will go the farthest, the next thing we're going to do is to make a paper airplane catapult. So this is one of the ones that I made earlier. It's just the arrow design. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a hole punch through here and then attach the rubber band so that we can pull it back to launch the airplane to see if maybe that will cause it to go further than just us trying to toss the airplane. So It says you can use a hole punch, some scissors. You might need your parents to kind of help you with it depending on what you have available. I have like a 3-hole punch here, so I'm just going to use like one of the holes on it. I'm just going to slide it in. I'm just going to take a guess about where it should go. It says to use one of our airplanes from before, using scissors, have an adult carefully make a hole for you. Use a pencil to thread the rubber band through the hole. Tie the rubber band to the plane as shown. Write down how far you think the plane will travel and find an open space to launch. So, like I said, I'm just going to poke a little hole here. So, there's my hole. Super simple. I'm going to take the rubber band. I don't need the pencil for it, but if you have trouble getting it through, definitely use it. And then once the rubber band is through, you pull one side of the loop through the other loop so that it holds on. And there you have your catapult. So what you're going to do is hold on to it like so, and then you're going to zing it across the room and see if it'll go further. So make sure you're in a safe place. No one's going to get hurt. So try that. Take a guess. Take a guess if you think it's going to go further than the ones you threw earlier. Maybe not as far. And write down what your guesses were, and then do the experiment and see if you were right or if it was completely different than what you thought. And I'm going to get set up to go ahead and make a boat. Alright, so looking ahead, we're going to look at make 2 different model boats. So on this one, most of you have done some type of rain gutter regatta boat for ourselves. So we're going to use that as just one of our recycled parts. So just grab one of your old boats and you know, if it needs a little fine tuning, give it a new sail or something. Just make it something simple and easy. And then I'm just going to use this as the one boat. And then the second one that I've decided to make is like a raft style. So really quick, I'm just going to talk about while my hot glue gun is getting hot for me to make my raft style. I'm just going to talk about the little buoyancy thing that they have here. So does any of you know what buoyancy means? So buoyancy is an object measures, the buoyancy of an object measures whether it will float in water. Why is it that some objects float and some sink? You probably know from playing with objects in the water that a block of metal will sink and a piece of wood will float. You also know that many large boats are made out of metal and they float. So how does this happen? Whatever the boat is made from, it takes up space in the water. The amount of space it takes up is called displacement. If the amount of water the boat displaces weighs the same as the boat will float. You can try this by making a boat out of aluminum foil. Try different shapes to see which one holds up the most cargo. You can use 1-cent coins to see what shape holds the most. So we did this experiment last year during our day camp, and it was a lot of fun. We all had like one piece of foil. We had to see how many pennies we could get to fit in there. I think ours was like 40 something pennies or something like that we were able to put in there. So, you know, think about, you know, different ways that you could make it buoyant. So like in this example, it looks like they have an old fruit cup, maybe a toothpick, and then just some construction paper for the sail. So the sky's the limit really on what kind of recycled materials you can use to try to see will it float, maybe it won't. So make sure your parents help you with anything, cutting, that sort of stuff. So we're gonna go ahead. I think my hot glue gun is good. So I just laid out popsicle sticks to be the width of one popsicle stick on its own. So these ones are all just loose. And then I'm just going to put some hot glue down the line of this. So remember, hot glue is hot, so watch our fingers. And then we're just gonna put it down on here, kind of centered best I can to hold all those popsicle sticks in place. Perfect. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here. Glue it, put it down, and glue. And just for extra stability, I think I'm gonna do one more across mine, just for fun today. I could just leave it with the 2, but I'm gonna go with 3. Maybe that'll make it too heavy now and it won't float. We'll see. Alright, so I got my raft. It's all ready to go. I could put it in the water this way, right? But this creates less surface tension, right, than what, like the buoyancy that they're talking about. So I'm gonna do it this way so that I have a nice flat part going into the water. And then I'm gonna use another popsicle stick and I'm gonna hot glue it up so that it kind of stands. And then I'm gonna use some construction paper to create a little sail. So super simple. Ooh, there might be too much glue. Who knows? We'll see if she floats, huh? Alright, I might have to hold that there while it dries. I don't know if it'll stay. It's not gonna stay. Might have to change my plan. We'll see. Alright. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pause while this is drying, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to make a little adjustment. The one popsicle stick wouldn't stay up, so I added 2 more to make it a little more stable, which actually works out kind of nice because then I can just glue my sail right onto the whole thing like this. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is just glue my sail on, keeping it up high enough that it's not going to hit the water. And then I'm just going to add a little dab of glue over here. And bend that over. And a little dab of glue over here. So here's my little raft sailboat, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to the sink. I'm going to fill them both up and see which one kind of floats better, blow on both of the sails and see which one goes better, and then I'll have some results to be able to discuss during our Zoom meeting. Okay, so we have our paper airplanes we're going to fly. Guess which one's going to fly the farthest, throw them, record which one does. I have my catapult, is it going to go further than my throwing? And then I have my buoyancy checking, so I've got my aerodynamics. With my planes, I got my buoyancy now. With my boats. And then last thing we're going to do is I'm going to get everything ready, and we're going to build the create a model car that move under its own power. Alright, last project. So, building a balloon car. So, like this one gives an example of a milk carton, balloons, straws, and spools, and some skewers. I don't personally have any of those kinds of things. I don't even know where you would get spools, like old-fashioned wooden spools like you used to be able to get. But maybe they have them at the craft store if you have it, or maybe you have some around your house, which would be super awesome. Anyway, just find some recycled things that you can use around your house to be able to build a car. So I have a bow water bottle that I like to drink. I have saved a couple of the lids from it and some milk lids. I got some old nails that I didn't need for anything, my balloon to give it some power, and we're gonna see what we can come up with. So I've pre-drilled 3 of the holes, but I'll go ahead and drill the last one so you can kind of see what I did. Might need some help with an adult on this one. Just kind of guessing about where the middle is. Doesn't have to be precise, really. Alright, so I got those, and then my little axles are going to go through there. So we got that. So we got our axle, axle, and the axle. Okay. So then we have to see, okay, can I get them into the water bottle? So can I just push them in? Probably not. Nope, I'm going to have to drill these 2. So on this one I might want to mark kind of where I'm going to go. It has ingredients on here, so I'm kind of lucky. So I can just kind of go with that. And then I'm just going to use the drill here. And we'll go with, we'll put one at the top here. There it goes. We'll put one down here at the bottom. Ooh, please be careful. Alright, so then I'm going to put one of my axles in here. Hopefully it'll stay. I mean, it's not like derby car building here today. Okay, so, it just has to be able to drive. I might have to adjust that. We'll see. Maybe angle it down to get my wheels on. Yeah, so let me play with this for a sec and we'll see where we need to go with it. Okay, so that went like super crazy. I was having really hard time getting these wheels on there. And it's not straight, and that's okay. I'm cool with it. So we're gonna give it some power. A balloon is what we're gonna use, and then I was just gonna use the little lid here to hold my balloon in place. Then we'll blow it up and we'll see if it works during our Zoom meeting. So have fun building your recycled cars, your boats, and your planes. If you have any questions or need any help with anything, feel free to email or call me. Your parents should have all those numbers and everything. So anyway, have fun, and I look forward to talking with you guys tomorrow during our Zoom meeting. See you then. Bye.